Yeah, those 82-mile-per-hour wind gusts in Augusta are concerning because they're next one county away from us. Yeah. And as we go throughout the rest of the morning here, those are going to continue to peak at about 8 o'clock. Let's show you what's happening right now with the latest advisory on Tropical Storm Helene. The sustained winds are at 70 miles per hour, but as we've seen toward the south, those gusts are climbing a little bit higher than that, getting into the territory of 80, 85 miles per hour. And those models have it going right through the upstate between now and about 8, 9 o'clock, and then pushing into the mountains by 8, 9, 10 o'clock. All right. So that core of the system now moving through Augusta. Let's look at the latest track because it did offer some new insight here as to where this is going to go. The core has now shifted out of Atlanta about 30 miles. That means the core of the winds are going to roll right through the upstate, not Atlanta. As our high resolution models were picking up on, this storm's going to blast right through parts of Anderson. The eye could actually go right over Lake Kiowee, Lake Hartwell, Lake Jocassee, then cross into the high peaks of the mountains where it's off to the races once it gets off the mountains and into Tennessee. Let's show you what's happening right now. Those gusts up to 82 miles per hour at a time there in Augusta, then back down to 79. Boy, that's going to be real rough rolling into the upstate here. That same band is going to cross through areas like Abbeville, Anderson. I've got a track on it I want to show you. Let's get to it. 52 mile per hour gusts here in Anderson, 46 in Greenwood. So watching these bands that are going to progressively get more fierce as they move into the southern parts of the upstate. Peak wind gusts so far. We had one just clocked at 58. That's the tops so far. 36 mile per hour wind gust in Augusta is the highest, or in Greenwood, I should say. Look at the sustained winds. This is a little bit of a different product, so this is a little bit lower. This is the consistent wind that's blowing, not the gust. So the constant pressure on these trees really starting to pick up across Lake Hartwell and Anderson County, and that's gusting at times up to 52 miles per hour. So pulling out, giving you some perspective, look at the tornadoes. There's 3 active tornado alerts happening right now from Columbia through Charleston up toward Myrtle Beach. That area under a tornado watch, as well as Lawrence, Union, parts of Greenwood and Abbeville counties. Each green box here represents active flash flooding. That's every single county in our area right now. Look at these heavier bands right here. Any number of these could present some stronger winds that are going to roll through the area. Of most concern of the flooding right now, that's Haywood County, Jonathan to Waynesville, along Highway 74. These areas so vulnerable to landslides because of the fact that as we move forward here, those landslides are possible in the fact that you got so much rain coming down. The soil's been compromised by all that rain. Let me bop down here toward the upstate. Look at these more fierce bands moving into Anderson from Lowndsville, Abbeville, and Greenwood. As we scoot down just a bit, from Augusta, that's where we had this band right here contained the 82 mile per hour wind gust. It's whipping into southern Anderson, Abbeville, Greenwood County, so Bradley, Troy, Kirksey, all within the next 30 minutes to 1 hour. It's going to be moving your way. A rough track on that would put those big gusts into Greenwood within the next hour, hour and a half, Lowndsville by about 7:52. So it's rolling north. We're going to see that continue to spin into the area. And what's new right now is we have that possible eye wall crossing right into the upstate, especially areas west of Clemson as we move forward here. That means that right quadrant of the storm, oh so potent across the area. Here it is. New model doing a great job at positioning where it's at right now, so we know we can trust this model. 6 a.m. You've got it crossing into Elbert County, Hart County. That eye could be directly over Clemson University, which means that right front quadrant's always the most potent here. So that's going to whip into these areas: Anderson, Abbeville, Greenwood, and Greenville. The National Weather Service upped their forecast for the winds up to gusts possible to 80, 85 miles per hour. Let's look at what our model's showing for that. First with the rain, an additional 2 to 5 inches of rain possible as an average across the area. But you get into the mountains, this would be additional rain over the next 4 or 5 hours. Okay, so this rain's going to shut off very quickly after, say, 11 a.m. or noon. So between now and then, these areas in the eastern facing slopes of the mountains could tally up 6 inches in those purples, and that white here would be closer to, as you look at your key here, 9 or 10 inches. Some areas are going to get an additional 9 or 10 inches in a matter of about 6 hours. That's why we have the potential for just shattering the record here in areas like the French Broad River at Fletcher. That's very close to the Asheville Airport. You go toward the Broad River in Chimney Rock, the Swannanoa River, where you get the Swannanoa and the French Broad River to kind of connect in there, or get close to one another, close to the Biltmore Estates entrance. That area could be a big impacted area with flooding that will be record-breaking that we haven't seen since 2004 or 1916, respectively. All right, so the gusts at 7 a.m. We're approaching 66 miles per hour there in Anderson, 54 miles per hour in Greenville. As we go toward 8 o'clock, those gusts around 67 in Greenwood and Abbeville, 62 in Spartanburg. And again, these are a couple of hours long worth of gusts that are this high. They'll come back down at a time and then go back up. Look at Spartanburg, a 67 mile per hour gust at 9 o'clock. And then going through 10, they're starting to come down a little bit, 50, 55 mile per hour gusts, then the 40s at 11 o'clock. Then by noon, we're starting to see the core of this system get up into Tennessee. So those wind gusts will start to come back down slowly across the area. The 4-day looks like this. So we're in the thick of this here until we get to about noontime, and then things begin to improve. 76. By Saturday, Sunday, Monday, we're starting to dry things back out. Let's go to a live shot right now. I want to show you the Peace Center sky cam if we can, guys, upstairs. I want to show you that because it just shows how fast the river is roaring in downtown. A lot going on in downtown with how much rain. All that rain has to flow somewhere, right? And in the concrete of downtown Greenville, it just flows right to the Reedy. And you can see it just roaring right now. It just continues to get up, and it's going to peak later today around lunchtime. Same thing with the mountains, except for you don't have concrete. You have all those high mountains. All those creeks and streams have to go somewhere. And in this case, it's going to be into those rivers like the Swannanoa or the French Broad or the Broad. And that rain's going to continue to pick up. I want to show you this model one more time here. As we go through 6, 7, 8 o'clock, that's when the core of this system is going to be rocking through the area. So those of you watching right now, you're waking up to the sound of that rain hitting the side of your house. We're going to be in the thick of the worst of this through about 6, 7, 8 a.m. in the upstate. 7 o'clock could be the worst of it for Greenville and Spartanburg. Then it's slowly moving up into the mountains where we're kind of in the thick of this now through about 9 o'clock for all of us. But then you see the heaviest of the rain pushing through areas like Asheville, Hendersonville, Rutherfordton. Those heavier bands of rain combined with the wind rolling through at about 9 o'clock. Then by 10 o'clock, the heaviest of the rain shifting up toward Boone, the high country, and then things are beginning to simmer on down slowly throughout the rest of the day. And those creeks and streams will rise while our rain starts to shut off. They have to all flow down to those valleys, and that's going to be the big concern. Perel Lewis joins me right now. Perel, you're monitoring Lawrence County right now. You got that sky cam up. That's going to be some of the first areas that see that initial band.
I tell you what, it's one thing to talk about the winds, but when you can see the power of these winds, that is something else, isn't it? Now, it's digitizing a bit. So you'll just kind of have to bear with us. But this is downtown Lawrence. I'm going to step out of the way. I want you to take a look at the trees, and not just the trees. You can absolutely see those kind of blowing back and forth. But look at the streets here. You can see the rainfall. Look at it racing down the streets. Those are some powerful winds in downtown Lawrence. In fact, we'll take another live look for you. Let's take another look here as we take a look at our downtown sky camera here. That is the Reedy River again. We keep showing it because it's so rare that we see the river running that quickly. So it's filling up. It's about 5 feet, almost 6 feet now since Tuesday. And with those winds, boy, it is a big deal, that's for sure. Hey, some of the wind gusts right now in Anderson, 52 miles per hour, 45 in Greenville. You're probably hearing that rain as we are where you live. If not, you're probably hearing those winds. Between now and the next 2 to 3 hours will be the brunt of the strongest winds. We're also watching this tornado watch for parts of Union and Lawrence and Greenwood. This is in effect until 8 o'clock this morning. Most of us being impacted more by the winds and the heavy rain. We have been talking about this. Every single county that we have is actively flooding. That is incredible even to say that. And this is the culprit, the center right here of Tropical Storm Helene. We're getting closer to that core. We're getting closer to the more dangerous winds. So it's picking up now. Those gusts 50, soon to be 60. But right there, what's coming our way next? That next round, that next wave will be the strongest wind gusts of 60, maybe 70 miles per hour. We're going to squeeze out another ½ an inch to 2 inches of rain or so before it's all said and done. In fact, a wall of rain as we go into 6, 7, 8 o'clock. If you're in the mountains actively flooding like everybody else, it's going to leave your area a little bit sooner. We're going to clear from south to north. So 10, 11, 12 o'clock, somewhere in that noon time frame, we'll start to see this rainfall gradually depart. It's still going to be windy out there, but those gusts will be much more doable, say up to 30 miles per hour as we go into this afternoon. So hang tight for the next 3-4 hours. It will start getting better after that. We're in the thick of it now, folks. folks. So we will continue to give you live coverage every single minute as we go throughout this incredibly rare storm. That's